Hello and welcome to Theme Park Worldwide, and the third video in this series all about new attractions opening in 2021 at theme parks all around the world. The first one that I put together was all about parks here in the United Kingdom, the second one about those parks in mainland Europe, and here we are today, the third one in the series about new additions coming to the United States of America. I've got lots to talk about. Likewise with the two that I've already filmed from the UK and Europe, some of these rides were supposed to open in 2020, but they were pushed back due to the global pandemic and will be opening hopefully in 2021. So lots to get through, lots to talk about, and I'm really excited to share my thoughts along the way about these new additions coming to theme parks in the USA. Let's start off then with one that we've all been talking about recently. The park released an official POV just last week. It's Busch Gardens Tampa Bay and Gwazi. This looks absolutely incredible, as we can see here from the on-ride POV. The tallest hybrid roller coaster in North America at 206 foot tall. It's actually the same height as Zadra at Energylandia in Poland. So both of those are sharing the title of the tallest hybrid coaster in the world. Of course, manufactured by Rocky Mountain Construction, but it wasn't a ground up coaster. This was actually a refurbishment, a complete overhaul of the Gwazi wooden roller coaster. Now, Gwazi was a ride that I experienced. I quite enjoyed it. I didn't find it too painful, but I believe over the years it certainly got worse from when it first opened in 1999. Now, Gwazi had two tracks. Gwazi is just one track, but they've, of course, made the layout pretty long, and it's done a huge overhaul to this attraction. It's got two inversions. It reaches a top speed of 76 miles an hour, and it's completely transformed it from the old Gwazi wooden roller coaster. Of course, you've got that bright purple track. The entrance looks really good to this as well. Can't wait to get on it, and from the POV it looks absolutely fantastic. Really good addition to Busch Gardens Tampa Bay, and I'm looking forward to experiencing it. So that's Gwazi opening next year at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay in Florida. Sticking to Florida then now, and this time at Universal Orlando Resort, and in particular, of course, Islands of Adventure, where they've been building this monster of a coaster that's now, of course, got an official name, the Velocicoaster. Now, that was just like a rumoured name for quite a while, but no, that is the official name. It's the Velocicoaster, all based around Jurassic World, and I tell you what, this looks absolutely incredible. It's an Intamin Blitz coaster, and it's got so much packed into the layout, along with a beautiful location. Now, Islands of Adventure's got the huge lake in the middle. You've already got the Hulk that looks pretty iconic coming onto the water there, and then you look over the lake, you've got Hogwarts over there. So you know what, this is really going to help with the skyline at the park and make it even more beautiful. Now, this Intamin Blitz features two LSM launches. It's going to reach a top speed of 70 miles per hour, and it's got a 155 foot tall top hat that looks fantastic over the lake. It really does. Over the past couple of weeks, the Velocicoaster's been testing. We've seen lots of footage, especially of it at night, and it's got lights on the trains which look absolutely beautiful. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Helix at Liseberg in Sweden. Of course, that's manufactured by Mack Rides. And this is an Intamin, but you can see that sort of resemblance in terms of with the light in there at night and how it's going to look, especially standing on the other side of the lake looking over towards the Velocicoaster. Along with that, it's got four inversions on there. The one that I'm really looking forward to the most is the Zero G stall. I think that looks fantastic, really long element as part of the ride as well. And of course, this isn't just a roller coaster, it's Universal, it's heavily themed. There's so much going on all around it. We know that we're going to have these raptors that are going to be interacting with the train as it goes round. There's indoor sections. Honestly, this whole ride looks absolutely gorgeous. It's not just a coaster, it's a complete package. So that's what I really like. You know me, I love it when it's not just a normal ride, it's a complete package attraction, and that's what the Velocicoaster is, coming to Islands of Adventure. Right then, going to talk about a new theme park opening now in the USA from Merlin Entertainments, of course, and that is Legoland New York. Now, In terms of coasters, what there's going to be here, it's going to open with the Dragon Coaster and Dragon's Apprentice. They're like the staple family coasters at all the Legoland parks, and that's what they're going to be opening with. There's going to be various different rides and attractions, shows. In fact, there's going to be up to 55 different rides and attractions to enjoy at Legoland New York. It's going to have your classics like the boating school, the driving school. There's going to be a mini land there as well. And something that I'm really looking forward to is their dark ride that's going to be coming in there, because this looks fantastic. It's the Lego Factory Adventure ride, which is a trackless dark ride. And I actually saw the vehicle reveal for this at IAAPA last year, and this looks great. And in terms of the ride itself, we're going to have a lot of theming, a lot of physical set pieces in there as well, which I really like. And this is all going to form part of this new resort. It's also going to be opening with a hotel there as well. 55 attractions, like we say. So there's going to be a lot to enjoy at Legoland New York when it opens in 2021. Right then, on to Icebreaker now, which is a new coaster coming to SeaWorld Orlando, back in Florida now. This is a premier ride, Skyrocket, that's going to have a multi-pass LSM launch. So by multi-pass, meaning that it'll move forwards and backwards through that same launch section. It's not a complete circuit ride, it will pass through that. In terms of the length of the track, it's 1,900 feet of track that we can expect there on this, along with an 80-foot tall top hat and speeds of up to 52 miles an hour. There's no inversions. It's more of a family coaster what they're putting in, which is kind of different really for the Skyrockets that Premier Rides do. It's the first launch coaster to go in at SeaWorld Orlando as well. Fingers crossed for a major thrill launch coaster at the park in the future. I think that'd be great. But yeah, for now we've got Icebreaker. I'm not too sure how I feel about the theming on this, because it looks a bit inexistent at the moment. I was hoping for some ice and rocks and stuff all around it. I'm not too sure about that. And the track colour as well, it's very bright, and I'm just not too sure on this one. It'll probably ride quite good, but in terms of the aesthetics of it, the theming, the overall appearance at the park, I'm not too sure. So we'll see what happens with this one. But yeah, that's Icebreaker going to be opening at SeaWorld in Orlando. Sticking with the SeaWorld parks now, and down to San Diego in California, and Emperor, which is a B&M dive coaster, dive machine, nice classic from B&M that's going to be opening at the park. So it's 153 foot tall with a 143 foot drop. It's going to be a 90-degree drop. Of course, it's a dive coaster. It's going to feature 3 different inversions on this ride as well. We can expect an Immelman, a barrel roll, and also a corkscrew. Now, Emperor will actually have a total amount of 2,411 feet of track and a 60-mile-an-hour top speed on that as well. So SeaWorld San Diego is a park that's really expanded with new attractions over the past couple of years. Really look forward to going back. I mean, I was in California earlier this year, didn't go down to SeaWorld because of time really, but I was there in 2015 and I liked visiting the park, and a lot has gone in since. So hopefully it's one to go back to at some point in the future, and of course go and see their dive machines. Yeah, that's Emperor at SeaWorld in San Diego. Right then, sticking with California now, and at Universal Studios Hollywood, they're going to be opening a brand new dark ride, The Secret Life of Pets Off the Leash. Now, I saw the construction on the facade of this when I was there in January, and I tell you what, from outside, it looks brilliant. They actually did like a bit of a tease of the inside, and from what we can see, this looks like a very heavily themed attraction. And Universal Creative have already said that this is going to be so much more than just screens. It's a ride system in there, what's going to have a lot of theming around. In fact, there's going to be 64 animatronic figures, lots of physical sets instead of just screens, actual set pieces, and you're going to go through all the different apartments that are featured in the film across 2 different floors. So yeah, I'm really liking the sound of that and how it's all going to come together. I've not actually seen the movie, so you know, it's one of them that I probably won't be able to relate to the movie, but next time I go out there, maybe I'll have to watch it beforehand to have a bit of an idea. But yes, it's nice to see them moving away from the screens with this one. I believe there is going to be some screens and projection mapping, but it's a big focus on them 64 animatronics and the actual set pieces in there as well. So that's at Universal Studios Hollywood, The Secret Life of Pets Off the Leash. Next up then, let's talk about an addition to Six Flags Great Adventure, and that's the Jersey Devil Coaster. This is a new build RMC featuring the Raptor track, or single rail, as us enthusiasts like to call it. 3,000 feet of track, 3 inversions, and it's 130 foot tall. It's a completely different layout to the others that are already on offer out there at the moment as well. Quite a long coaster, so I'm looking forward to seeing this. Like I say, 3,000 foot single rail. Bit concerned about the capacity, of course, because you sit in a train where you're literally just one of you there facing forwards. I think it can seat up to 12, if I'm remembering correctly, on a train. So I am a bit concerned about the capacity and the throughput on this, but from looking at the construction, I think it fits in quite nice. All the trees around it. It's a really nice park, actually, Great Adventure. So I think it'll fit in quite well to their lineup. Just a bit concerned about the capacity on this one, but it's something brand new coming to them, and that's the Jersey Devil Coaster. Certainly really exciting with all these additions, isn't it? Loads more still to talk about as well, such as the Aquaman Power Wave opening at Six Flags over Texas. This is a Mack Rides Power Splash. I really like these. There's actually only 2 in operation at the moment, but there's more under construction. I did the original Pulsar at Wallaby, Belgium, and it's a great ride. Really interesting with the ride system and how it works. So it's got a multi-pass LSM launch that you pass through on a number of occasions. But of course, it doesn't create any splash until the final time passing through into it. All the water comes in from like a reservoir, fills the trough, and then it creates quite a big splash. Brilliant ride system. This would be a really nice fit for the park as well. I went there last year on our USA road trip, and I really feel like this will fit into their overall lineup really well. It's actually got a top speed of 62 miles an hour. It's 146 foot tall and 708 foot long. But like I say, you pass through the same section on a multiple of occasions, and it was an enjoyable ride. So yeah, it's going to be the standard layout. There's going to be you know, more of these opening up, I imagine, over the years, because the fantastic ride, not a huge footprint either, really. They're more long than anything, but quite a thin sort of area what you need for it. They could fit in some great parks. I think one in the UK would be great. I'm not too sure which park, but one would be fantastic in this country. But yes, I'm really looking forward to this Aquaman Power Wave. Should be a great addition to Six Flags over Texas. Up next then, let's talk about Pantheon at Busch Gardens in Williamsburg. It's an Intamin Blitz coaster that features 2 launches, 2 inversions, and a top speed of 73 miles an hour. So pretty fast, this one. And, you know, in terms of the theme of this ride, it's going to be all based around the Roman gods, and that's what they've implemented in with the different elements on this roller coaster. It's 178 foot tall and 3,328 feet of track, so it's pretty long. It looks like an all-round action-packed ride. It's got the speed, it's got the inversions, it's got the height. We know it's going to have the airtime, and hopefully some theming as well. So hopefully it should all come together in a really nice addition. It's a great park. It features some great theming, Busch Gardens Williamsburg, all throughout the different areas. So I imagine this will be pretty nicely themed and fit in very well to the park. But Pantheon coming to Busch Gardens Williamsburg in 2021. Right then, this is one that's really interesting me now, especially after doing some more research into it, all about it. This is a new roller coaster, a steel coaster, coming to Lagoon. What's interesting with this is that there's not really loads of information all about it, but we do know that it's going to be in-house designed. Of course, they're using a contractor to actually build the coaster, but it's been in-house designed. They're not using a normal manufacturer with this. They did the same with Cannibal, which is another coaster what they've got there. So it seems Lagoon are very mysterious with this sort of stuff. They like being different, and that's what I really like. They haven't just gone to a big name manufacturer. They're doing it themselves, and this is a big new ride. Now, it looks to be more of a family coaster than a thrill coaster, but it's going to be inside a huge mountain show building. With part of the track outside, we can see they've got the lift hill on the outside, which is green track. Anything what's going to be visible is green track. And then anything what's indoors is of a darker colour because you're not going to see it. I imagine there's going to be some show scenes inside. From looking at the actual structure itself, seems like there might be possibly some waterfalls on the side or other thematic elements to put this together, which, you know me, I really like. A dark ride and a coaster put together with some good theming, kind of giving me the Expedition Everest kind of vibes looking at it with the lift hill going up the side into the mountain. You know, it's giving me them sort of vibes. So I'm looking forward to this at Lagoon. I've never been to that park. Hopefully get to go out there and see this at some point in the future. But it's definitely going to be a family coaster, no inversions or anything like that. It seems like it's going to be a big sort of family edition for them that's heavily themed and something certainly to look forward to. So that's the currently unnamed mystery coaster, in-house designed, coming to Lagoon. Right then, Silverwood theme park now. They're going to be getting a RMC single rail that's going to be called Stunt Pilot. Standard layout, there's already 2 of these in operation at the moment. I've never been on one, I've seen one, but unfortunately, when I was at Six Flags Fiesta Texas last year, it was having some technical issues. So I've still not actually been on a single rail. So I'm a bit gutted. I would have really liked to have done it. I was pretty upset at the time, but at least there's more of these starting to pop up now. And Stunt Pilot seems like it's going to have some theming around it as well at Silverwood Theme Park. In terms of the stats, with this 1,800 feet of track, 113 foot tall, and a 52-mile-an-hour top speed with 3 inversions. And from people who've been on this and reading their reviews and hearing all about it, it sounds like the brilliant ride, really snappy, whips through the elements. Like I say, I would have loved to have got on the one at Fiesta Texas, but we did miss out on that last year, unfortunately, due to technical issues. But at least there's another one of these opening up, and 2 of the single rails this year. We mentioned the other one earlier at Six Flags Great Adventure. It's got a 100-foot drop at 90 degrees as well. So yes, that's Stunt Pilot coming to Silverwood Theme Park. Next then, let's talk about Dragon Slayer that's going to be coming to Adventureland. This is an S&S 4D free spin. There's actually 8 of these already operating, and there's 3 under construction, including this one. So, you know, they're becoming quite a popular ride now. I've done a few of these. Very enjoyable coasters, very smooth, quite intense as well, but certainly a lot more comfortable than the Intamin Zack Spin, which I look at this. I mean, in terms of the footprint on these, you know, pretty small footprints. They can be fit into a park nicely. I look at that and I look at an Intamin Zack Spin as I know they're completely different rides from manufacturers, but the way they look from an off-ride perspective and the amount of space they take up, Zack Spins are very, very intense and not very comfortable. Whereas with these, they're very smooth, very enjoyable, with the transitions on the corners, and yeah, the way it spins round, the free spins. You know, I really do like these. I think it'll be a nice addition. The theme as well should be good with Dragon Slayer. You know, I'm expecting the theme to be pretty nice around this. And in terms of the ride, it'll reach a top speed of 38 miles an hour. So not too fast, but still enough to give you a good thrill. Like I say, they're just enjoyable rides, those ones, in my opinion. But something brand new that's going to be coming to Adventureland, Dragon Slayer, in 2021. Still quite a bit more to talk about now as we move on to the Disney editions for 2021. So Ratatouille the Adventure is going to be coming to Epcot, of course one of 4 theme parks at the Walt Disney World Resort in Florida. Now this is a trackless dark ride. It opened at Disneyland Paris in 2014, and this looks to be very similar, if not a near clone, especially the interior. The exterior of the ride actually looks quite different to that of the one at Walt Disney Studios at Disneyland Paris. From looking at it out the front, the scenery seems a lot taller on this one to cover the show building. You've got a big sort of plaza area that kind of expands from the French Pavilion. The French Pavilion, the France Pavilion, I was trying to put the 2 together then. The French Pavilion, it kind of expands all the way around the back there into this much bigger area. Looks like there's going to be a creperie, I think it is, around the side there. Quite a big expansion around the back of that area. So looking forward to this. I think it'll be a great addition. It's a trackless dark ride that's got a mix of screens and also set pieces as well. So yeah, I think it'll come together and be a nice addition, especially for Walt Disney World that hasn't had anything trackless until Rise of the Resistance. So this will be their second trackless ride, but it's nice to see, wow, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway as well open. So they've had 3 trackless rides open in a very short period of time. This will be the 3rd one, and that's opening at Epcot. So really exciting for them in terms of finally getting into the trackless technology technology. They didn't have one, and then they've gone and had three. Crazy, isn't it? In terms of other new Disney additions then, we're going over to the other side now of the States, back to California and Disneyland, and that's Avengers Campus, which is set to open, including a new signature dark ride, Web Slingers, a Spider-Man adventure. That's a new interactive ride. Looking forward to seeing how the technology works on this. If you've done Ninjago at the Lego parks, I'm expecting something similar to that. This attraction was also mentioned for Disneyland Paris in my European video, because they're going to be getting the same attraction as what's coming to California here at Disneyland. It's going to be in the second park, Disney California Adventure. Avengers Campus is going to be quite a large themed area that's going to also have some character experiences around there. It's also going to feature this stunt animatronic that we've seen teased from Disney quite a bit now. That's going to feature in the area as far as we know. And also there's going to be other meet and greets. There's going to be a new restaurant. There's going to be a new shop and plaza area. So it should all come nicely back together around there. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. And finally, just having the loop around that section of the park again. When I was there in January, it was weird because at Guardians of the Galaxy, that was the dead end, and the same really in Cars Land. Now you'll have that full loop back round again, which I'm sure a lot of people will be looking forward to. Moving on then to the Tron Light Cycle Power Run roller coaster for the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World. Now Tron is an absolutely incredible ride that opened at Shanghai Disneyland in China in 2016. I've been on it. I went on it in 2017. Very much enjoyed it. This will be a beautiful addition to Walt Disney World. It's going to be in Tomorrowland as part of an expansion. All the futuristic theming is going to fit in beautifully. I imagine we're going to see the general aesthetics of Tomorrowland improved a little bit to fit in with this, because it's got this large sort of domed structure that looks amazing. This big canopy with all LED lights built into the side. The trains on this coaster as well have got all lights built in. It's got onboard audio. The ride itself is pretty much a Vekoma booster bike. It's quite a simple ride system. But what they've done with the custom layout, it's partially under this cover, and then the other part of it is all indoors. It comes together as a brilliant experience. A lot of theming, a lot of lighting and audio. That's what really comes together. And of course, it's based on the Tron legacy. So this is going to be a brilliant addition to Walt Disney World. Still expected to open in 2021. It's worth pointing out that construction did seem to be falling behind for a little while. There was rumours that it was going to be 2022, which could still be the case, but as it stands at the moment, Disney are still saying in time for the 50th anniversary celebrations of Walt Disney World that of course are going to be starting from October next year. So fingers crossed it is going to be ready for then. I'll keep you updated here on the channel if not. Finally then, one last thing to talk about. Now this was originally planned for 2021. It still seems like it is going to be, but now there's strong rumours that it's going to be 2022, and that's also going to be Epcot's anniversary. So it seems like 2022 may be more likely now, but we've not really heard much from Disney. However, last week they released a first look at the inside of the building and the trains for Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, a new generation Vekoma spinning coaster, controlled spinning with all these different set pieces and screens at the side to really immerse guests in this story. What we know about this is going to be one of the biggest indoor roller coasters in the world. We don't know exactly yet if it's going to be the biggest and take the record from Crazy Bats, which is at Phantasialand in Germany. That's currently the record holder for the longest indoor coaster. We don't know if it's going to take that or not yet, but it certainly looks like a lot of track packed into that show building. But yes, in terms of when it's going to open, it's now looking like it might be 2022, but it still could possibly be 2021. From looking at the inside of the building, it seems like it's come on pretty well. So, you know, we'll see what happens with that one. But in terms of new additions for the States, there is loads going on there, as you've heard throughout this. And that isn't even every single thing. There's some smaller developments happening as well. There's a couple of things that I've not mentioned in this video because they're still not confirmed 100% for next year. But in general, it's looking like all of those are going to be opening, if all goes to plan, in 2021. Apart from Guardians of the Galaxy, which could now be looking towards 2022, but with us having some new information, I thought it'd be worth putting in this video just to sort of share my thoughts and keep you guys up to date with what's going on with the Epcot transformation. But There we go, blimey, that was a lot of information to do, it really was, and I really want to know your thoughts down below in the video comments. What's your local park there in the States? What are you looking forward to the most? Which one do you think could be the best addition? What could be a bad addition to a park? I would really like to know your thoughts, so let me know down below in the video comments. And if you haven't already, check out my video about the UK editions and also the mainland Europe editions for 2021. Coming up next, I'm going to be talking about the new additions coming to theme parks over in Asia. So stay tuned for that one. It'll be coming up within the next week here on Theme Park Worldwide. That leaves me with one final thing to say. Get out there and keep on riding. See you all in the next video.